Hi, guys. It's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. The week was over. It's time for a new week. Time for more court. Time for maybe new judges. I do have a new judge for us today. When I say this time, when I say new judge, I mean a new judge. Like he's never been a judge before. And now he's training. And I mean, it's just traffic stuff, but sometimes these traffic stuffs, whoo, people do not like to pay traffic tickets. Nope. Driving without insurance, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay this. It wasn't my fault. The dog ate my car. There's just so many excuses. We hear excuses we haven't heard before. We hear excuses we have heard before. We just go through a docket of a brand new judge sitting there dealing with it. And I feel so bad for this judge. You have no idea. Um, I don't know how to I don't know what to compare it to. I'm trying to think of a comparison for you. He's just so nice. He's just so nice, and these people are going to eat him alive. These people are going to eat him alive, and he's going to turn bitter and cruel because he's too nice to begin with. They need to find, mean people to start with. Yeah, I just feel bad. You'll see what I mean. You'll see. He's just nice, and then we're going to see an old judge do it like he's supposed to do it. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's heard every single thing in the world before, billion times. So there's nothing you can say to this judge that will get him. He knows the law. He's going to deal the law, and he's going to deal it swiftly. All right, let's start with the new judge, because the old judge we love. We love him. So we're going to end with him today. So let's go to Colorado. Oh, I left this in because it's a new judge. So guess what he forgot to do?
Do you feel like you're under
There we
duress,
go.
like you have to take this for some reason?
No, I'm just under duress. I'm here trying to get to work.
Okay,
Not lose my
sure,
job.
sure. Let me move this along then. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have a right to plead not guilty. You have the right to be presumed innocent of all the
Hi,
charges.
Mr.
That
and
right
Mrs.
remains with you until the case is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. If you accept this plea, you're waiving the right to go to trial, the right to have the prosecutor prove the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt, the right to call witnesses, the right to confront their witnesses and their evidence, and also the right to an appeal. You understand that you're waiving all of those rights? Okay. And with that, how do you plead guilty? How do you plead to the charge of
Guilty.
driving without proof of insurance?
Guilty, without a doubt.
All right. I'm going to accept your plea of guilty as a knowing, voluntary, and without undue duress or coercion. I'm going to impose the. I have your final chart. I have to impose the $500 fine. And since you don't have, after acquired insurance, I can't suspend any. If you decide you want to take advantage of that or you look into it,
I will. I'll probably will. Just at the moment in time, it's just, you know what I mean?
perhaps you could bring that in within 30 days with the petition to
Take a shot every time he says, you know what I mean? Without ever saying what exactly he means.
reconsider. Okay. I think he just wants to close the case out. Is that right? You don't want to set this up.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, it's told it's kind of a today only sort of thing, or we could continue your case for you to try to get insurance.
Okay.
Okay. What is the surcharge? It's 25%, right? Okay. So I can waive that,
I usually waive the bills if he says just. 500.
just write waive. I'm gonna do you a solid and waive the surcharges and court costs. So it'll be just a $500 fine. Are there any other costs
Dang it,
I cannot
Foxy.
waive? Okay, then the total due today will be $500.
It's coming.
Um,
It's coming.
and you're free to go then.
Can we pay that?
Are you gonna be able to pay anything today?
No, I start up a payment plan with you guys. I'll definitely go ahead and get that started, but like,
Okay.
Just so you know, this guy has missed a few lessons on how money works.
When do you think you'd be able to pay about a half of it or? what
I
kind of payment
won't be
plan
able
do
to
you
pay
think?
that even close to nowhere near that. Like I said, I'm on a budget right now. Like I pay my rent money and then everything else that goes with the rent, groceries. Like I said, I was just homeless, so now I'm in a place. So everything that I'm doing is trying to
Well,
get
no,
myself
instead of a
right. So
payment plan, we need.
yeah, payment plan, which I know the courthouses do payment plan.
Yeah.
I don't know what the payment plan usually starts out at.
That's what I'm asking you. What can you do?
And $50, maybe, at the beginning, and maybe 100 at the most, you know what I mean?
So
Just
like, when do you think you'd be able to come in with that for?
as I get paid next week, you know what I mean? So
Okay, so in a week, you'll be able to come up with 100. and
should be
then-
able to,
on a
about
monthly
100,
basis?
50 to 100, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That would be
Okay.
badass. I swear it would be so cool.
So we're gonna reset your case for 30 days. It'll be an administrative, just hear me out. It'll be an administrative review. If you make that payment of $100, then we'll reset the case again for another 30 days for you to make the next $100. So long as you're making your payments, you don't have to come back to court. Does that make sense?
But why can't I just end the case now so I don't have to deal with this again, period?
Because if you could make the
Pay the
payment of
money.
500 today, we
Is that a
reduce
law
it.
that I have to pay the whole fine today? Is that a statutory law that's not a law? There's a reason for payment plans. There's a reason for the budget because
Right,
people that are
and so we have the
income,
review to make
that
sure.
are on low housing or whatever, that's the whole reason for that. That I do know for a fact. Every courthouse has that. Every place has that. Like, I already double checked on it.
Well, I can't give you legal advice. Whatever you
read a
want to
law
do, if you
book.
want to speak with an attorney, I can continue
So
for that.
I'm not confusing you. You're telling me if I don't pay the whole fine today, that what?
That the case will be continued
Why? What does it have to?
to
continue? I'm at a
review,
loss.
to review your payments. So long as you're making your payments, you will not have to come back to court.
But why would I have to come back to court if I'm already guilty and pled guilty and agreed to pay a fine? It's a fine. It's not a case. It's not a
You're
criminal
right,
case. It's
But
a
it
fine.
is an order of the court that
Yeah,
you made the
understandable.
fine.
But if I'm paying the fine, which would through
Yeah, so
payment
long as you
plans,
keep up with the.
yes, why do I even have to get a continuation?
Like I
It
said,
don't make no sense.
so long as you make your payments, you will not have to come back.
Okay,
No, no,
whatever.
keep going.
I mean,
Keep going,
whatever,
dude.
yeah. Yeah, I need to hurry up, man. I'm sorry, but you're gonna get me
I'm
fired.
sorry,
from my job.
you're asking me the questions and I'm trying to answer them.
I've never
so-
been to a courthouse that does this, so.
Okay,
I've had traffic tickets before and I've never even heard of this kind of stuff, so.
sure.
it's like,
Okay.
It don't make no sense.
So we'll set you out for 30 days, which will be September 17th. And that'll be for an administrative review, so long as you are on top of your.
And like I said,
payment plan that
I'm
you
not
said.
gonna be able to pay 100. I said anywhere between 50 and 100. So
Okay,
that's, you know what I mean? It might even be less than that. That's the whole point of a payment plan is you pay what you can afford, not what you're supposed to. You know what I mean?
What? What did he say?
just down here. Oh, gotcha.
So
All
if
right,
I'm
so-
only able to come in with $20, that's what I'm gonna come in with. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm trying to burn you guys. It's just, I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
life is
said-
rough right now.
so long as you're
Yeah.
keeping up with it, you
Yeah.
don't have to come back to court. So I'm gonna set you
If you
out.
guys are expecting like $100, what you're saying is like, it's not.
No, I'm asking you what you think you can
Oh,
do.
yeah, I'll pay what I can when I can. You know what I mean? I mean, not when I can, but I'll pay every time I get paid, I plan on coming in and
Okay.
getting something. So,
Well, let me finish up the paperwork and then I'll send you out into the hallway. All right,
so,
we're good?
yeah, so can I leave?
Well, you need to go to the front desk to set up the payment plan, and then you can go. Okay.
So that was the start of his docket on, I think, his first day. I really do. I think it's his first day.
Did I pronounce that correctly, ma'am? See anything? It's the original disposition. Good morning, Ms. Marangel. I'm looking over some of the paperwork here. It looks like the anticipated plea is that you're going to plead guilty to two. Oh, okay. We had reset the matter for today for you to bring in proof of insurance. Did you bring that
Yes,
today?
ma'am.
Yes, and I emailed it to the email I was supposed to.
Give us just a second to confirm that, unless you have it in paper with you.
It's not, I haven't got it sent in the mail yet, but I do have an email of it.
Okay. I thought you would give that to the city attorney.
Hi, Vibers.
That's through Root Insurance, is that correct?
Yes.
That's what I have. Root.
Let's see, where's the-
So it's probably suspending him.
Okay, what's the proof of insurance for the date of the events? Is this? She was gonna, they were gonna dismiss it. Oh, she's gonna plead guilty. Okay, so she already pled.
Yeah, sure. She's just a provider.
Okay, so that's all from that part.
Wedding
Oh, so we're
venue
just
on
suspending
weekends.
part of the fine. Everything. So. Doing sentencing.
I'm not
Okay.
100%, but I think that's the clerk right there. And that's that other judge that we
Okay.
see all the time that I share this court. Listen, Fozzie, I mean,
Who
you
is
know,
Gina
Kelly,
Ray?
My mother.
he's going to, don't worry.
Do you show, can you get us proof of insurance that has your name specifically on the policy?
I should be on the policy.
Well, with what you provided us by email, it doesn't seem to have your name anywhere on it.
Oh,
That's the other judge
And,
training him.
You know, the troubling part
She has
as
to
well
whisper.
is Gina Ray has a completely different last name than you have. So
With Judge
I'm
Gahn and
hesitant
her.
to bring that into play. But I appreciate that you've tried to get insurance and get proof of insurance to us. Would it be all right if I reset you? Our next court date will be the 3rd of September if you want to come the
Judge, no, absolutely not. They're going to eat you alive. I appreciate that you brought in the wrong paperwork. Would it be okay if maybe we reset you? No, no. Tase her and then tell her when to come back in.
then, or we could set you out for 4 weeks to the 17th of September.
well, so the vehicle is my mother's, but she went into a coma. Long story short, I have her car, her vehicle.
But you have to be covered by the insurance.
So I think, I don't know if I set it up right, but I try to add me as a driver, and
Okay.
maybe I just didn't do it right, but I'll
No, you
double
probably
check.
did it right.
Okay.
No.
But the paperwork that we have
Mhm.
doesn't seem to name you.
Okay. So
So-
I'm gonna get that to you.
That would be perfect. How long do you think you need?
In about 4 weeks, I am getting induced. I'm pregnant.
Thank you,
so I am
Casey
getting
Carey.
induced,
Thank
so
you.
I don't know.
So how about in 2 weeks? Would that work? Like on the 3rd of September?
Yeah, but what do I need then? Just proof that I'm,
I just need you named as a driver that your name, Miss Serena Rangel,
Mhm.
is a covered driver under this insurance policy.
okay, even though I'm not driving her vehicle anymore because of this situation?
Well, if you want the benefit of the fine being reduced, I need some sort of after acquired insurance that has your name on it.
Okay. Okay,
Otherwise, we have to go with the full amount of the fine.
okay. I could try to get that to you guys.
Okay, let's reset you for September 3rd then.
Okay.
You already have the date stamped in.
You want to voir dire the judge? Barb?
Thanks for catching that.
Victoria. I don't know who you are, ma'am. Sorry. I need proof. I need proof of
And I'm sorry to hear
identification.
about your mother.
Thank you.
Okay.
Of course he threw that in because
So
he's so freaking nice.
Okay. We'll set you for 10 a.m. on September 3rd.
Okay.
Okay? If you want to go out to the hallway, they'll give you a reminder slip. Okay?
Thank you.
We have Matthew Rixey. Did I pronounce that right? Rixey? I apologize. All right, Mr. Rixey. It looks like you are anticipating to enter a plea of guilty to no proof of insurance with having after acquired insurance. Is that correct?
Yes and no. I just may ask you first to take in consideration the fact that this was my mother's vehicle and she got insurance the day after this offense, but she has early onset Alzheimer's. And sometimes she lets her bills lapse a few days, but it was literally the day of after the offense.
Like, let's try to figure out who understands the world better. The first guy with the payment plans or this guy?
Reinstated her insurance immediately. It only didn't lapse for not even a month completely. And so I was driving her vehicle and it's hard on me to take the fact of being charged with, driving with no insurance for something that wasn't my vehicle and now having that hit my insurance. It's going to make my rates go up and everything else. I having this on my record. I was just, hopefully you can take that in consideration.
Did you have insurance on your vehicle?
I didn't have a vehicle at the time, sir.
Okay. So here's the issues that the fine
You said you wanted close-ups. They're coming.
by statute can't be suspended. I can reduce it. I can take what you've said into consideration and maybe perhaps suspend
Hi,
some
Jazzy.
of the court costs. But really, the purpose of the statute is to not necessarily penalize, but give you an option of having proof of insurance versus having to have a high fine. Since you have after acquired insurance, I can knock down that mandatory $500 fine to $250. And if you know this, if you get a second offense of no proof of insurance, the minimum fine is $1,000.
I get that. I have insurance on my own vehicles now. I'm well on my way to being, self-sustainable. But I was just driving her car to take her to an appointment. It wasn't like I knew I was taking her to a doctor's appointment at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I did not know my mother did not have insurance on the car at the time. I understand that you can't do nothing about it, but
I don't want to sound cold, but when you drive someone else's vehicle, you have to make sure that the vehicle's not stolen, make
be
sure it's
completely,
insured,
she had insurance.
make sure that it's registered, and all of those are what are called strict liability.
How am I supposed to do
offenses.
that?
At the
type of thing?
courtroom.
I'm supposed to call her insurance company and see if it's covered. When her card said it was covered, it just had lapsed a month.
So you did have proof of
Oh,
insurance?
she had insurance on the vehicle, but it was lapsed a month. Her coverage lapsed 1 month.
Okay.
No, not even a month, like 21 days.
So by strict liability, that means that sort of
All right, guys. My knee jerk was Rebecca, but she's going to pick up her child. So it's not Rebecca. It's not Kelly. It's definitely not CJ. It's not Fozzie. He knows better. He knows better, and it's not Maiko. Guys, I'm just falling back on. Did Rebecca leave yet? Is that Rebecca? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Somebody tell me who you think it is.
like speeding. Either you were speeding or you weren't. It
I-
doesn't matter if you were negligent or
Even
reckless about it.
conditions.
So what you're telling me about goes against the strict liability part of it, which is either it was insured or it wasn't. What steps you should take or could take in the future it's up to you.
Stop
But
texting all this other
what I
stuff.
have here
Who is that?
is that you want to plead guilty. Is that not?
Really don't want to plead guilty, but I have
Okay.
no choice to plead guilty.
No, you do.
No, I can't
set the
sit to a
case.
trial. I
Okay.
just, obviously, there's no insurance on the time it happened.
Oh my
But
God, it's
it
not
wasn't
Rebecca.
me that knowingly did that.
It can't
It's
be
my mom.
Victoria.
It's
She would
just a
never
medical
do that
condition.
again.
It was just a whole lot of variables in that situation. I was just asking for a little bit of leniency on maybe the fine, court costs, anything you could. I appreciate it. I just
Okay, I
really,
can do that.
thank you.
All right, so let's start with, you have the right to trial, as we just kind of talked about. When you enter a plea of guilty, you waive that right to a
I
trial.
understand.
Along with your right to a trial, there are other rights that go along with that. I need to make sure that you know
Oh my
what you're
God, is it
doing
Michael?
and that this is your
It's Michael.
voluntary plea.
Yes, sir.
So let me first ask, are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medications?
Sure.
Or under the influence of any emotional or mental health issues that could impact your ability to make a fair and accurate
Jay.
understanding of what you're doing today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, along.
Am I just sitting here talking to my civil? It's civil, guys. It's civil. Am I just sitting here talking to myself? Do you think it's Linus? I don't think it's Linus. I just don't. Why am I talking to myself? Who is that, guys? Who is lethal friction today? Which mod? Reply. I want to know. I want to know which mod it is. I want us to deduce it. I want us to put the clues together. It can't be me. I'm not a mod. Listen, if I was a mod of this channel, it would go down real quick.
Okay.
Hi, man.
Along with that, when you have a right to a jury trial, that means that you would, in addition to the right to a trial, the individual rights are that you have a right to be presumed innocent.
That makes
That
sense.
presumption continues with you up
Good job,
until
Victoria. Good
the
job.
prosecutor proves the case beyond a reasonable doubt. If that doesn't happen, you maintain your right, your presumption of innocence, and the case is acquitted. By that, you also have
Victoria's
the
so
right to
smart.
confront any witnesses that are called by the prosecutor, confront any evidence. You also can present a defense, but you're not required to. You can testify if you'd like, but if you decide not to testify, that fact cannot be used against you. You also have a right to an appeal if you were to be convicted. All of those rights are waived when you enter a plea of guilty. Do you understand that?
I understand, sir.
He does not
You
understand.
also have a right
Nope.
to counsel. And if you're not able to afford an attorney, one could be appointed to you if you qualified by the financial obligations that you have set up by statute.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that?
Do.
Okay. And you're waiving your right to counsel. Is that correct?
Sir.
Okay. Knowing your rights, how do you plead to the charge of driving without proof of insurance in violation of Section 1409 of the Edgewater regulations?
Guilty, sir.
Guilty? I'm going to
Yep,
accept your
it
plea
was
of guilty
Fuzzy's cat. Look at it's purple.
and find that it's knowingly and intelligently made. Per our conversations here, I'm going to impose a fine of $500, suspend 250 of that, and I'll also suspend or waive the other costs and surcharges. So it'll be a total of $250.
Sir.
Are you able to pay that today?
Pay it right now.
Okay. Well, then we'll close the
They're
case out.
coming. They're
Give
coming.
you
They're
just a
coming.
second to make some notes. And if you don't mind waiting in the hallway, we'll get you all
I
processed.
appreciate your help, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I wish I could have done more for you. I appreciate the situation. And unfortunately, there's
Judge,
limitations.
stop. Judge,
Thank you.
stop. He doesn't feel like he should have to pay money at all. Zero money. Here you go,
All right, let's call
Donald.
the case of Ashton
Now we see the
Torres.
close up of the judge.
Who do I have present for this matter?
It's
Good
a
morning, Judge.
juvenile.
I'm sorry, wasn't totally able to make that out, but
It's a special needs juvenile. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe a juvenile. If he's a juvenile, he's like 16, 17, 18. So he's older. But I still blocked him out. And cats sit everywhere you don't want them to sit. So I made it a cat, of course. And just so you know, he is smiling and laughing the entire time. That's why I made it a cat too.
I think you were asking who was present, and Ashton and I am Allison Jensen. I am his counsel for youth in his Denver dependency case. We're
Okay.
present together.
Great. So you're on this Denver case, and I take you're also authorized or appointed for this matter as well.
I guess I'm not, well, I have not formally entered an appearance or anything, but I'm here to support him. He's in the custody of Denver Human Services and living in a foster home. And so it just sort of made the most sense for me to be here.
Thank you. It's counsel for you. CFY, right? Counsel for you.
Yep. So same as a guardian ad litem, but for youth who are 12 and older, we're now called counsel for youth.
I understand that you're going to be, or at least Mr. Torres is going to be requesting the continuance of this matter until we can resolve the Denver matter. Is that correct?
No, his Denver matter is just a dependency and neglect case. So that will be open while we work on the reasons that he was removed from his parents. So that's, I think, independent of this.
We do
I've
not
been
sleep.
trying to connect with Miss Rogers. I've reached out a number of times to see if I can provide a little
Apparently.
bit more information about Ashton's situation and see if we can come to a resolution. I haven't heard back since we were last in court. So I guess we're not requesting a continuance, but we haven't heard from the prosecution about any potential disposition. So I think we will need to return again, unfortunately.
Okay. I can set you for 9/17 or 10/1.
I think it's French. Maybe cheese.
What was that, Judge? Sorry, it's a little bit hard to hear. 9, what did you say, the 17?
17 or October 1st. Oh. I was on mute the whole time. I apologize.
Then I was hearing
Yes,
the
he
courtroom
was
audio.
on
That
mute.
must have been what it was. I could hear, just not very clearly. I'm in a conference on the 17th, so I think the morning of the 1st would be best.
Okay. We
If
start
I'm-
these at 9 a.m., but because this is going to be virtual, would 11 a.m. work?
Yeah, that would work. And if Ashton's in school, would I have authorization to just appear with him from school?
Of course.
I don't want to.
I know you don't. We will address that wherever he is, as long as I can be present with him. I would just ask the court to authorize that if possible.
I hate school.
Well, unfortunately, Ashton, this judge doesn't have any authority to make any of those decisions because it's just the law.
I want to drop out.
So
Ms.
we will.
Jensen, do you have,
Yes.
do we have an email address for
Ms. Johnson?
the
Yes.
prosecutor?
Yes.
Yes, and
Oh, I do. Yes,
You-
and I
You have
Included
her
her in-
email? Okay. All right. The court clerk here said that
He's
he will
smiling
take
at the
care of
judge.
everything
He got
with
real
his magic
close.
wand, of
Smile
course.
at the judge.
Oh well, I would be certainly
And
grateful.
so we'll
for that,
reset,
yes.
we'll
Great.
reset you
Ashton-
for 10/1.
Great. At 11 o'clock virtually.
We could do it 11 o'clock. And I'll authorize virtual.
That would be great.
And I will also waive the defendant's appearance if he's in school.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. And I'm hopeful that Ms. Rogers and I can actually make contact and talk a little bit about resolving this case, which Ashton is eager to do.
Miss Rogers hasn't made contact with you yet, lawyer, because you haven't entered an appearance. So why would she make contact with you? Why don't you enter an appearance if you're going to act like his lawyer? Just saying. Victoria, no, I haven't watched Linus yet because I was supposed to only work a single shift yesterday, but I ended up having to go in early and work a double. So I just have not had time. I'm off today. So that's the first thing I'm going to do when this stream is over. The second thing I'm going to do when the stream is over and do another Kelly trial video. Those are the two things we're gonna do when the stream is over. Oh, before court starts the next court start at 8, but the next Kelly trial is 3 hours long. So maybe I just lied to you all. Who knows?
Perfect. That concludes the matter. You guys are free to log off. Good to see you, Mr. Torres.
Thank you, Judge. Thanks, Judge.
Okay, next we have Jose Valerio. All right, Mr. Valerio, it looks like we have two cases. Case number 50729 and case number 50286. First, tell me who you are.
Jose Valerio.
That's a trick question. I see it, Fozzie. That is a trick question. You are trying to trick me up. I have off Monday. That's it. Monday. Whenever Monday is. Tomorrow, yesterday, today. Chicken cordon bleu. Ma bleu. I just ate it right now at the beginning of the stream. That was my dinner from yesterday.
Okay, Mr. Valerio, I'm looking at case number 50286. The original charge in that case is 10,550, which I believe is theft. And the anticipation is that that case will be dismissed on the condition that you plead guilty in the case of 50729, another charge of theft. No new offenses for 12 months. Do not return to the Edgewater Marketplace for 1 year. You'll serve 30 days of jail time. 15 of those days will be suspended, and you will serve that time with the ankle monitor or in-home detention if you so choose. Otherwise,
Sky
it has to be
raisin.
in the county jail, and there's no objection to a stay of execution. Is that your understanding of the plea bargain?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go through your rights. You know that you have the right to trial.
Yes.
Okay. When you enter a plea of guilty, you waive your right to a trial. So it's important that you understand
Sky
not
raisin.
only your right to a trial, but all the other rights that are attached to a right to trial.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start with today. Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication,
No.
or any other mental health or emotional issues? Okay. So if you were to go to trial, you would be presumed innocent. And that presumption of innocence can only be overcome by a finding that you're guilty of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. And you would have the right to confront any witnesses being presented against you or any evidence being presented against you. If the prosecutor were unable to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt, you would maintain that presumption of innocence and be acquitted of the charges. During the trial as well, you have the right to present evidence and a defense, but you need not do so. If you decided not to testify, that could not be used against you in the court of law. And you, if
No.
convicted, would
No,
have a right
Victoria.
to appeal.
No.
Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that you're waiving those rights?
Yes, sir.
And to the plea of theft, 10,550, how do you plead?
They eat them.
Guilty? I'm going to accept your plea of guilty. Find that it's knowingly, voluntarily made with. You also are appearing without an attorney. You understand you have a right to an attorney,
Yes, sir.
and you're waiving that right?
Yes, sir.
A fly.
Okay.
For a
Then in
dog.
that case, I'm going to follow the agreement that you've reached. Tell me how long you're going to need in order to get that in-home detention set up.
Well, do I set it up through here?
Yes, I believe so. Well, it's not necessarily through here. I believe it's a third-party company that you set it up with. It's a matter of, I believe you have to have a deposit, you pay by the day. So there are some financial requirements of it. And then there may be a couple of weeks before they can get the equipment set up with you. How long do you think you
Colorado
need
near
in order to get
Boulder.
all of that put to bed?
Well, I'm currently living at a hotel
Okay,
or out, it's actually
He could be vice president.
like apartments that were converted into apartments from hotels. So I don't know if they have phone lines in there.
That
And I
wasn't
know that
political.
usually
It
when
was
they have
just
an
a
ankle
joke.
monitor,
do you have a cell
It
phone?
happened.
Yeah.
I think they can use your cell phone.
and yeah, I'll be.
This is what I want to do then. Let's reset you for the 17th.
Y'all remember the fly, right? Y'all remember the fly? Never
At
mind.
10 a.m. for a review. If you get hooked up with the ankle monitor by the 17th, just bring in proof of that here. It doesn't mean that you have to complete the sentence by that time, but I'd like you to at least start it by the 17th. That gives you about a month to get everything resolved. And if you need more time, come in on the 17th at 10
No one
a.m.
remembers the
If it's
fly
all
on the
resolved,
vice president.
Then we'll
It was
close the
funny.
case out or continue it for another review date. And it'll be just a paper review without you needing to be here presently in person, physically. Physically is what I meant to say.
So, September 17th?
September 17th. So get yourself set up by September 17th.
He's too nice.
If it's not set up by the
right?
17th, be back here in person at 10 a.m.
Thank you. See,
Okay?
that wasn't
If you don't
political.
mind waiting in the
That was
hallway, we'll
funny.
get you all hooked up and I'll get all of this paperwork over there. Sound good?
Thank you.
We had a vice president in a debate, I think. I think it was a debate. It was a debate. And there was a fly that kept crawling around on his head. And his hair was bright white. Not political. This is just a fly on his head. And we were watching this debate with a fly. And it was hilarious. Oh my God, I was crying. Nope, nope, Donald, no, no, no.
Thank you. Hey, Mr. Martinez.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Tell me what's going on with your case.
They asked for continuance, I think.
Why?
I don't have the money to pay for it right now.
Okay. How much time are you going to need?
They asked for 30 days.
So you were sentenced. Some PR bonds. I don't actually see the day that you were sentenced. It looks like you returned. Maybe you pled guilty on the 6th of August. Is that correct?
I got a PR bond for them for August, yeah.
Okay, so you hit.
Looks like it was someone in here.
Okay.
It was due by-
Wow. So it looks like you pled guilty back in January.
Yeah.
And then you were supposed to come back and pay your fines and costs back in March.
Yeah.
And you failed to appear. Then a warrant got issued back in March.
Yeah.
And then looks like you got released on a PR bond on the 6th of August. And now we're here on the 20th of August. So August is month number 8 of the year. January is month number 1. So we've had 7 months to get this paid.
I was homeless for a lot of that time.
Okay, what about the community service?
I'll be able to do that. I was homeless, like I said, for most of the time.
I understand, but I think community service is something you could get done for free without, but you haven't. Look at it from my perspective. It looks like 7 months has gone by. You've done nothing to get this case resolved. If we continue it again, what's the likelihood that you're going to be back with everything completed?
I will be.
How much time do you need?
Days?
30 days? $16 hours of community service. Do you know where you're going to get that done?
Yeah.
Where?
Mark?
Okay. Do you think you can get that done in 30 days?
Yes.
and then $155 because there was a $500 fine that was imposed against you with 400 of it suspended. I don't want to have to impose that $400 that was suspended, but we could because nothing's been done. I'm going to set you for October 1st at 10 a.m. for review. That's 6 weeks, not 4 weeks, not a month. So that's 6 weeks. I want to see this done, of course, but if anything, if you don't have it done, I want to see a big amount taken care of, because otherwise we are looking at a decent amount of fines that'll be imposed otherwise. And I would have no other relief but to impose that. Instead of that, I'd rather see you complete this and close the case out. If it's closed out, we don't have to worry
Hi,
about
Mel.
PR bonds or returns to court or anything to that effect. We also, I don't think they're present today, but we also have the homeless navigator. I don't know if you've worked with them before, but they can help you with obtaining a job, housing, and also guide you in a way to complete this. So if you
I
need
wish,
additional help,
but no.
just ask, and we'll try to do the best we can. So I'm going to reset you for October 1st. I'm giving you definitely the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving you 6 weeks to get this done. If you need more time, come on back. We'll talk.
I do food banks on Tuesdays, and it's only 2.5 hours. You can only have a 2.5 hour shift, and it's easy.
About it, but I'd like to see some effort being done as opposed to no effort at all. Right? And I appreciate that you've been homeless, and it sounds like you've picked yourself up and you're getting yourself in the right frame of mind, the right place. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You should be very proud of that. I'm going to give you a lot of accolades for that, because that's something that's tough to do, and not many can do it, and everything is against you. So I understand
I would
that.
flourish on probation.
But flip side,
Home
we need to get this
probation.
case closed out. So just let me know what you need. Let's get you 6 weeks to try to get that done.
All the
That's
locations,
16
2.5
and
hours for me.
$155. If you need more time to pay, at least bring in some sort of payment towards it. We can set you up on a payment plan or a schedule to get that done. Okay? So we'll be 10/1 at 10 a.m. All right? Do you think that's going to be enough time for you?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Martinez, thank you for coming today. I appreciate that as well. It's really important. No, we haven't. This is Thomas Martinez. That's Jesus Martinez Torres.
This was his second case. Never mind, sorry.
Your name is Dulce Jesus Martinez Torres.
I think
right?
I'd be okay.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't want
Thank
to,
you.
but I would be okay.
I apologize about that. We'll get you reset for 10/1 at 10 a.m. If you want to go into the hallway, they'll get you set up on that. If you want to try to get a payment plan set up with them today, then at least you kind of have a guideline of how to do that. Maybe it's $20 to $40 a week, and just every week, that way it's consistent, and you'll chew down that 155.
It's spectacular.
Yeah, come back on the 1st of October. And if you've made some great strides, well, we'll talk about what we could do at that time. All right.
Okay, Judge.
All right. Thank you very much for coming in. Like I said, you've had some history of failing to appear or not coming in. So it really shows a big change in you and responsibility on your part by even showing up today. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Judge.
Objection,
All right.
lies.
We'll see you on the 1st.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I'm pretty sure you're under oath. Can't lie like that. Just can't. Okay. If that was my first day as a judge, I think things would have been said way differently. Yep. I'm also positive this judge we see often. I'm also positive had she been in that seat, things would have been said way differently. But It's real and it's spectacular. Now we're going to leave. We're going to leave a brand new judge. He did his job. He's working on it, memorizing his scripts. I do too. Very much so. So sometimes we see Judge Khan um in this courtroom. That's a mosquito. Yeah. Sometimes we see Judge Khan in this courtroom, but we only see like part of him, maybe the top of that sign, and then we see the outdoor court where Christopher is at. Christopher, hello, remember? Um, so he sits there for he does a bunch of counties. Edgewater, Denver, Boulder, and I know there's more. I don't know this geographically Colorado great, so I can't remember the other ones. But he doesn't do like Weld. Um, he doesn't do all those other ones, but this is where he does it, and he's nice and calm. And no judges in here are very crazy and mean. Colorado's just cut differently than us guys. They just are. All right. We're going to the next case is one we have not seen before. It's not criminal, it's civil, and it's something we've not seen before. I think it was from a divorce, but this is not a divorce case. I think out of this divorce was an agreement of paying taxes and paying mortgage or whatever, and we're seeing a contempt. I think it's called a contempt for this contract that they made from a divorce. And it's Judge Reese, and of course he's muted.
All right,
But
tell
he
me what this is
remembers.
about.
Your Honor, this is a motion to enforce settlement and a motion for contempt. The motion to enforce settlement is in reference to the settlement agreement that was incorporated into Your Honor's final judgment and decree. And the motion is on the issue of,
So the agreement's already part of the court order?
yes, sir, there is a
So
final,
you're just trying to enforce the court order then?
yes, sir, that's
Okay.
correct.
All right.
And in that, in paragraph 16, and I have an additional copy, if Your Honor would like me to hand a copy up of my motion, which attaches the final decree and the
Yes,
settlement.
that'd be helpful. And for the court report, I guess you need to give her your name.
I am Jenny Quattlebaum.
What?
No,
What? What did she say? I have something for my bucket list now. I want to be Mrs. Quattlebaum. I need to find a Quattlebaum to marry. Man or woman, I don't care. I just need to marry a Quattlebaum. I'm going to search real quick while you guys are watching court to see if there's a Quattlebaum in Lancaster. I'm Mrs. Quattlebaum from Lancaster. That sounds awesome. Yes.
that was right, but I didn't want to.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that's how you spell it? Quattlebaum? I thought there'd
did.
be a Q in it.
And it's paragraph 716, you say?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct. And that paragraph is in reference to a piece of property that was owned by the parties during the marriage, referenced Brookins property. And that specific section that we're here before the court on today was that in the event the husband misses timely making 2 60-day payments on the debt or taxes associated with the property, then in that event, title to said property shall immediately revert to wife in fee simple absolute, and husband shall execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate said transfer within 30 days. Your Honor, there was 2 missed tax payments and then 3 missed payments on the mortgage on the property in 2024. They were late payments, and so I don't know if there will be argument on that today from Mr. Lewis, but we're here just to move to enforce that Mr. Tanner signed the quitclaim deed, as it is our position that the property has reverted to Miss Battle in fee simple absolute. On the contempt issue, Your Honor,
I
it
have some
is
all
for
around me.
failure to pay those mortgage
Yes,
payments
yes.
timely, which I think is remedied by my motion to enforce. And also a provision in paragraph 17 of the party settlement agreement that Mr. Tanner would maintain a life insurance policy in the amount of $375,000, which we were unable
That's how
to
it's
get any
spelled.
confirmation of and
Quattlebaum.
believe that he did not maintain. I have talked to Mr. Lewis and I know I'll have some feedback for the court on that. I think Mr. Tanner has, since Mr. Lewis's representation, tried to obtain some additional life insurance. The other provision that we are here on today is a provision that there would have been a $50,000 payment due on January 1st, 2024
How
in
much?
relation to an equitable
How much?
a $50,000 payment from Mr. Tanner to Ms. Battle due on January 1st, 2024 in relation to a former marital business, Tannenwood Outdoors, as part of her equitable distribution payment from that, and that payment was not made.
It's still not made?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Lewis?
Your Honor, first of all, I think the provision about the mortgage payments was it had to be 2 payments, 60 days in arrears, and it was never more than 41 days.
He looked
in
directly
arrears.
at her to say that.
Her client did not make mortgage payments, Your Honor. In May of last year.
Hold on, I thought he was making the payments.
Well, right, she said she made 2 payments, but in fact, she did not. It was the end of the term note, and she paid some of the accrued interest, and he paid some of the accrued interest, and they both signed a new note. The only payment that was missed was the April payment, and at the time they did what they did, it was not
Quince
60
tree?
days in arrear, but
What's a
41
quince
days
tree?
in arrear.
Okay,
And if I may continue, Your Honor, in order to make the payments he was supposed to be making, he, on a piece of property that he was to get in fee simple under the agreement, what was the name of that piece? The Breezy Hill tract that's in this action. He had a contract to be closed in January of this year, in which he was to sell the timber on that piece that was otherwise unencumbered, but the plaintiff in this action has never conveyed her 1/2 interest, which the court required her to do. The timber people were willing, because of the court order saying that they would do it to proceed, but when their attorney checked the deed records, Your Honor, they discovered on the
That looks
on the
delicious.
deed records of Washington County, Georgia, 2 liens against Sharon B. Tanner by the Georgia Department of Revenue. And of course, that property was still in her name and his name. One of them in the amount of $23,263.68, and another in the amount of $5,036.42. I think plaintiff conceded they were made aware of it.
Your Honor, when the plaintiff was made aware of those payments, it was immediately taken care of. She did receive feedback from Mr. Tanner about the issue after the issue in question on the Brookins property, after there were missed payments and missed tax payments. So that had nothing to do with it. The notification of that issue came later, but also pertinent on that issue is I have been sending to Mr. Tanner's former counsel and Mr. Tanner the deeds for both parties to sign, which Mr. Benjamin Vaughn's firm prepared at the time of divorce, since at least November of 2022. And Mr. Tanner, who went unrepresented for a significant period of time, continued to argue with me about what needed to be included in the deeds, in which I put into writing multiple times. Mr. Tanner, I cannot have a phone conversation with you. You cannot come to my office. You're an unrepresented party. That's not how I conduct my firm. please let me know what your proposed revisions are on the deeds. And so that is true. The deeds were not signed, but that has nothing to do, Your Honor, with his ability to make timely payments. The 2 tax payments that went missed on the Brookins property, which were required per this settlement agreement, were 2022 and 2023 tax payments that were taken care of in March before he ever even thought about or noticed my client about the liens or contracting to sell or cut the timber on the property.
That's a different piece of property though.
Yes, Your Honor.
And
All right, hold on this minute. Now, the Brookings property, you're saying he was supposed to make the payments
Yes, Your Honor. And
and the
timely,
taxes and all that.
correct, Your Honor.
And the provision was that if he gets 60 days behind, the property would go to her.
60 days behind or failing to pay the taxes. And so
Okay,
there
hold on.
are 2 issues on that. There was a payment, a missed payment on the 2022 taxes and 2023. In fact, the property went to the courthouse steps in March of 2024, or almost, and Mr. Tanner paid it just before it went to the courthouse
Your
steps.
Honor, I would like for her to provide proof that it went almost to the courthouse steps. That is not true.
Well, we'll have to hear evidence. Well, did he miss 2 payments is the question.
They've been paid.
Well, that isn't the question.
Yeah.
That may be the question. We'll have to get to that. But, and that is the question, if in fact he got 2 payments, what's the provision in the agreement? This agreement is not easy for me to read, but what provision is that in the agreement?
It says 2 weeks.
What,
2
hold on.
months, parentheses, 60 days.
I understand that. What's the paragraph in the agreement?
It is paragraph 16. Your
16.
Honor.
All right. The Brookings property.
It's about the 3rd line down on the first full paragraph on that page, Your Honor.
All right. So he was supposed to try to refinance. If he couldn't refinance it, of course, her name would remain on it. In the event he cannot refinance it, to remove her name, then the wife made her sole option, refinance her own name, but apparently she didn't do that either. He shall at all time make timely mortgage payments and taxes associated with the property until her name is off. She'll retain title. Da, 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 da. Well, where's the part about her? What page? I'm on page 16 now. I didn't see it on page 15. Where is this provision in that paragraph, in paragraph 16?
Your Honor, related to the fee simple issue.
Where is that? Where in the agreement? It's a 3-page paragraph, 2-page paragraph. Where in that paragraph is it?
Your Honor, that is on the first full paragraph on page 16 of 37 of the agreement.
All
And
right.
it begins with the 2nd sentence on that 2nd.
Okay. He said in the event he misses timely making 2 parentheses 60 days payments or taxes associated, then the property shall revert to the wife. Okay, now.
I am very quiet. You have no idea.
If in fact he missed paying the taxes when due, I don't know if he did or not, but if he in fact did miss paying the taxes when they were due, this provision says that the property immediately reverts to her. Because it doesn't say unless he later pays them. It just says if he missed paying the taxes, then the
Professional.
property title to the property shall immediately revert to her in fee simple absolute. And the husband shall execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the transfer within 30 days. Isn't that what it says?
So I'm reading, I believed it said he would hold the wife harmless from any liability arising from said Brookings.
It does say that, but then it says, he said he'll hold her harmless, blah, 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 blah. Then it says, in the event that the husband misses timely making 2 payments on the debt or taxes. In other words, he misses paying the taxes associated with this property. Then and in that event, title to said property shall immediately revert to the wife.
But I don't think it says if he misses paying, if he pays the taxes.
It doesn't
and
say,
holds her-
where does it say that?
Well, it doesn't say anything other than about the timely payments. It doesn't say that if he's a day late with paying the taxes, it reverts to her.
It does say that.
Time.
I mean, how can I'm trying to read it right here. It says, in the event that husband misses making timely payments on the debt, that's 60 days on the debt,
Right.
or taxes. He misses timely paying the taxes. Then and in that event, title to said property shall immediately revert to the wife. Isn't that what it says?
Well, it's not the way I read it, Your Honor. Obviously, I wouldn't have said what I said.
Yeah, but how else can you read that?
Well, I associated the 2 payments 60 days. dealing
Well,
with
that's
the
a
debt.
mortgage payment. Obviously, 60 days can't relate to the taxes because they don't come due every month.
Right.
But according to her now, he missed paying the taxes in 22 and 23. So even if you say, okay, he's got to miss paying the taxes twice, he did.
He was late paying them, yes.
Well, that's what I call missing the payment. And it doesn't say he'll have a chance to pay them back later on. It says if he misses making the payment. Any other way to read that?
Your Honor. And
Now, I don't know if he missed 2 payments or not on the mortgage. That really becomes irrelevant if he missed paying the taxes. I really think he only had to miss paying the taxes once. But if he missed it twice, then that's,
Yes, Your Honor. And our testimony today, what I put my client up of is helpful for the court would be that there is a statement that I have here to put before the court today, that there is a transactional statement for the mortgage payments on that property. There is an assessed late charge in March of 2024, an assessed late charge in April of 2024, and then an assessed late charge in May of 2024.
well, now he got a point there. But if he's late on the payment on the mortgage, that's a different ballgame, because if you miss making the mortgage payment, but before the next one comes due, you pay that one, and then you missed April or whatever else, and then but you pay it before the May one's more than 30 days due, then you pay it. It never gets 60 days behind, and that's, you see, missing 3 payments or being late on 3 payments doesn't mean it's 60 days behind if he made the payment in the interim.
Correct, Your Honor.
So that doesn't.
But the tax issue is.
The tax issue is
clear.
the more critical one, because if he missed paying the taxes 2 years, I think that's a death knell.
as I say, he was late. He did not miss paying them, and they've been paid for over a
Mr.
year
Lewis,
now.
if you don't pay your taxes,
And Your Honor.
they're
again,
not paid. It doesn't say that they have to foreclose for taxes. It says,
And Your Honor.
in the event the husband misses timely making the payment on the taxes, timely is when it's due, December the 20th, most of the time. And you don't pay it, then you missed the payment.
Right. And Your Honor, we would show to the court that in an equitable proceeding, which the motion to enforce and the contempt are, the moving party has got to be in compliance with the order they're attempting to enforce before they're able to do that. The plaintiff has had this property tied up with judgments since,
Now, that's a different piece of property, isn't it?
no, it's not one piece of
$5,
property. She's got
Hawaii,
everything
$5.
she owns tied up
Oh,
with-
y'all mentioned the Breezy Hill tract.
Right, but she.
Hold on, we're talking about the Brookins property. Is that the same thing?
No, Your Honor, but she has got the Breezy Hill and the Brookins tied up with her Georgia tax liens.
Okay, well, we'll get to the Breezy Hill in a minute.
Right, the Breezy Hill was what the property he got in this action. And he went to attempt to cut timber to pay her $50,000 and to pay.
Have you filed a contempt on her for not clearing the judgments on the Breezy Hill property?
No, Your Honor.
Okay,
but
then that's not before me right now.
Your Honor,
yes, Your Honor, if I may, I'm bringing up the fact to show that in fact, she cannot take her action in equity for a motion to enforce or for contempt when she in fact is not in compliance with the same court order. It's an action
You
in
got me
equity.
some case law on that?
I'll be happy to get you some, Your Honor.
Well, I'd like to see it.
there's more than 30 days has passed since service. There's been no formal response. There's been no affirmative or formal defense that have been raised in any pleading or motion. And I think that there would have to be some sort of formal motion before the court to even make a determination as to whether that Miss Battle could perform on any defenses or cross contempts that they may raise. And I think the testimony would absolutely show that but for Mr. Tanner's continued interference, that compliance would have been absolutely necessary and appropriate, and she would have been able to do so. But that's not before the court today, Your Honor. There was plenty of time for Mr. Tanner to file a solemn motion for contempt or to respond with affirmative defenses to the motion for simple enforcement of signing of the quitclaim deed, but he failed to do so.
So no answer has been filed on your contempt?
No, Your Honor.
Yay, Crystal.
30 days have expired. When was the action filed?
Your Honor, the action was filed on June 14th of 2024.
So more than 30 days plus
Casey
15
Carey
expired.
bought the gifted memberships
There's no
today.
answer filed, no response, Mr. Lewis?
No, Your Honor. Well, I'm not familiar with the requirement for filing an answer to a contempt.
I
We're here
think,
to
I
defend
think you'll
against-
find that that's I understand what you're saying.
Thank you, Fozzie.
And I'm not going to guarantee you absolutely for sure that that's the law, but way back in the back of my memory, I remember that I got surprised by that same principle at one point in time that I got caught on that same hook that I thought, well, it's a contempt. You don't have to file an answer, but I think the law is that you do. But I'm not going to swear that's the case because this is I'm pulling back a memory from way back there. So I'm not, I
Would
hadn't
the
looked at that in a
court
long time.
perhaps give us both an opportunity to brief these questions.
So and as far as evidence is presented, there's no question, everybody agrees, stipulates that he failed to pay the 22 taxes and he failed to pay the 23 taxes when due, but then paid them late. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. I think he made a partial payment on one on the due date and paid the rest of it later.
All right, failed to pay 22 and 23 when due, but he paid them later.
Yes, Your Honor.
How much later?
Which one is this? Where's the? Okay.
This is how you quietly scramble. Scramble, scramble, scramble.
Is it, you paid them both at the same time? I understand that, but.
That's what you got.
Right.
I don't know who this guy is. This guy just walked right up to the judge.
He paid a portion of the 22 on,
Hold on just a moment.
oh, I'm sorry. Your Honor.
All right. I'll reschedule this for another hearing. You'll be notified when it's gonna be, okay? All right? Yeah.
And which tax was it? It's 20, this is 23 and that's 22.
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
So while they're looking at this, I'll let you know.
With this Notice, yeah.
I got this when I was at
What?
work from my phone. In between tables, I was trying to record this.
I'm sorry, now you,
And in between these guys talking it out, there was like a whole bunch of other cases, and some of them were horrible. They were just horrible. And some of them were just stupid. And he's trying to juggle interpreter schedules and getting the people from the prison into the court while this mess is going on. And it was funny, and he handled it awesome. And that's why that one guy just walked out of nowhere and gave him a piece of paper, because he was juggling so much today.
you said when?
He paid a portion of the 22 taxes, April 12, 2023, and he paid the 24 and the balance of 23 on February 28th, 24.
All right, so they were all late. All right,
And we would like the court, if it's not, agreed to let us present evidence of the liens has against her that are liens against the property that prohibited him from doing any business with the property he got during the divorce because it was still in both their names.
That sucks. Now we'll
Your
never
Honor,
speak to you again.
Ms. Battle received no notification from Mr. Tanner about anything related to these liens until well after February and the March potential tax sale. She was notified in April. I have an email where I immediately reached out to Mr. Tanner, asked him to please provide me with any documentation he had because Ms. Battle uses Rollins Group in Atlanta for taxes. We, as quickly as possible, got down to the bottom of it, and she has satisfied all those payments. Now, that has not been recorded on the general execution docket here. I understand Rollins Group is doing that, but again, there is no formal defense that's been pled before this court. Regardless of that, there was no mention of cutting timber or anything at the time that the tax issue was in question. So it's not really relevant to the one issue that we're speaking before Your Honor. And if Mr. Lewis wants to bring a defense to the other issues that are before the court with reference to the $50,000 payment.
all right, tell me about that now. Let me get to that.
Wait till you hear why she
Sure.
didn't pay.
Your
It's
Honor,
great.
These are tax liens. These are copies of what is under our feet here.
I understand that.
For the person that the lien is against, I presume that the state of Georgia did not tell her. I don't know who.
Well, no, what she said was she had no notice from Mr. Tanner that those liens were in any way interfering in anything he was trying to do.
Your Honor,
That's my, is that your argument?
it is, Your Honor. And I think one very important point is when Ms. Battle did contact the government to find out why she had not received notice of these tax liens, it came to her attention that a stop mail had been placed on her address for these liens.
He put a
And so
stop
we have
mail
not
on
gotten
her.
to the bottom of that because Your Honor is probably aware of how difficult it is to subpoena those entities, but it is rather concerning, and there would be some
Well,
testimony on
Your
that.
Honor, she had to know she hadn't paid them. These, I don't know when she got her stop mail, but both of these liens were e-filed and recorded on one on February the 2nd of 2022 and one on June the 22nd of 2022, the other on February the 2nd, 2023. They've been on
That doesn't
record
matter.
for years, and I don't think the state of Georgia did nothing before they filed a lien. She has got this property tied up, and she learned counsel's already told us that he contacted her. He attempted to sell the timber in January, and she perhaps correctly
Contempt
told
of
him
a
that she
civil
couldn't talk
contract
to him because she
hearing.
represented the other side. But to say she didn't know anything about it when he told her, and he told her that it was tying up the timber sale, the fact that he didn't have a lawyer doesn't change that fact. And it kept him from doing something with property that should have been his, Your
I
Honor.
understand. Well, that's another question. If this is all that, hold on a minute. I understand her argument. Her argument was not that Mrs. Tanner, she's still Tanner? No, she's Battle?
Mr.
or-
Battle, Your Honor.
She's back to
Miss
Battle,
Battle, Your
okay.
Honor.
Not that she didn't know she owed the Georgia taxes. You're right. Georgia would have sent her a notice. Georgia would have said, you owe these taxes. Her argument was she did not know there was a lien placed on the property because the notice of lien was not sent to her because somebody placed a stop on the forwarding the mail to her. Is that what I understood you to say?
Yes, Your
May we
Honor.
inquire when this happened?
When Miss Battle found out about the lien, that was in April of 2024, in which I immediately was contacted by my client. It was actually Mr. Tanner's mother who made her aware of it. And I immediately sent him an email, which I have, Your Honor, where I reached out and asked him for information on the liens as she had received no notice. Again, this all being after he paid those taxes in February. So that notice of wanting to sell any timber came well after the whole issue occurred in February. And so I
yes.
think that's
Your Honor, the timber sale was to occur in January of 24.
Okay.
And these liens notices were filed and sent to her a
Well,
year, 2 years.
that's the question. That's the question. She says she never got notice of the lien because somehow, mysteriously, there was a stop put on the delivery of the mail from that mailbox to her. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, Your Honor, but also Mr. Tanner was represented by some time for Miss Maddox. He has had no problem emailing me and calling me, excuse me, but Miss Quaddle,
I don't, but every time I drive past the cemetery, I envision him. Does that count?
Bomb, everything he has wanted to call me. Mr. Tanner representing himself has shown that he is fully capable of what he was doing when he was performing as his own attorney for some time. He could have filed a motion with this court and put Ms. Tanner on formal notice. He could have filed a contempt action.
I still
Instead,
get
he elected
Patreons.
to do nothing, is now trying to circumvent what he has done under this agreement, when we are saying it's our belief that it's already hers in fee simple. The contract is clear. We just want him to sign the quitclaim deed.
I understand.
Your Honor, these liens were sent to her on February the 2nd, 2023, and June the 22nd. They were sent to her 2 and 3 years before.
I remember one of the last ones, not the last one, but one of the last texts I sent my ex was, I'm in my car. I'm in my drive. My steering wheel was right here. And so I took a picture of, my steering wheel and my hood. And then before I sent the text, I put a big arrow pointing down saying, wish you were here.
She says something happened to her mail. It didn't happen this year. It happened years ago.
I don't care when it happened.
Right.
She's just saying she never got the notice of lien. Is that your testimony, ma'am, that you never got the notice of lien?
No, sir. I didn't know. And my accountants had no idea. They had to dig and find it.
Right. She knew obviously of the taxes, but she's saying she did not know of the lien because she never got the notice of the lien. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
It's always been.
He found out about it because he couldn't sell his timber. He notified her lawyer, Your Honor.
And that was in April.
No, it was in January.
Well,
No, that's not correct, Your Honor. I reached out to Mr. Tanner in April after having heard from my client by way of Mr. Tanner's mother.
that's the first notice y'all had of that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
These two have no idea what's
Now,
going on.
What about $50,000?
Your Honor, there was a payment due on January 1st of 2024 for $50,000, and we're simply
January
before-
21st, is that what you said? Yeah, January 1st.
Yes, Your Honor, and there'll be another one due January 1st of next year, and we're simply before the court asking that be paid.
Can it be roast
Mr.
beef? I'm
Tanner, if
sort
you
of
were to
salty
put
today.
Evidence before this court today. He, in 2023, sold a $150,000 excavator. He's been traveling. He's been living a rather nice and comfortable lifestyle. What he allocates his monies to or his own business, but there'd be testimony on that today, and we just want that money to be paid. It was
Does
an
he
equitable
contend that's
division.
been paid?
No, Your Honor. That's why he was trying to sell the timber in January when it
Yeah,
was
but it
due.
was too late then, wasn't it? It was already due, past due.
That was as soon as they went to close.
Well, point is, if he didn't pay it on January 1st, 2024, from the State Department of Revenue, that the liens have been paid and will be satisfied.
So again, we skipped a little part there because I was recording this in between, like I was serving. I was the server. And I was the only one on, and it stopped recording, and then I had to start it again. So we missed a tiny part in there. But do y'all really think we missed anything? Do y'all really think these two were going to pull something out of their hats in that time that I was getting someone an extra ranch?
I bet you can sell your timber.
Also, at some point here, like I got hungry. I got hungry and I needed food. I know I work in a restaurant, but that food is so expensive. So I door dashed real quick while I was recording. I tried to blur it all out. So coming up, you're gonna see me DoorDash, but I was hungry, guys, and these people just didn't stop talking.
And we can't pay anybody until then.
If he wanted to pay within 30 days of satisfaction being recorded in the general execution docket, or we're open to that. She just wants to move forward.
I mean, if we could consult with the timber company and to see when they can cut now, Your Honor. They want to do it in January. They've told him and he will sell it to them, but could we?
Just payment.
I mean, he can ask them.
Oh,
right now.
yeah. She says he's been traveling, he's been spending money that he could have paid her the money he owes her. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, we are not
If he
aware.
deny, if he's claiming he was broke and couldn't pay her, then I'll have to hear evidence on that.
But I mean, if she wants to tell us what she's this extravagant life,
That's up to you. But you might want to talk.
Okay.
Because if I find today that he did not make that $50,000 payment on January 1st, like it was due, and she's got a contempt action filed against him, as all of you saw earlier today, what we traditionally do in a contempt action is, okay, jail, take him into custody until the $50,000 is paid.
that's fine, Your Honor, if the court will do the same thing.
If that's
too.
fine, what does she owe him?
Well, she owes him all the money that her failure to her tying up his property and not.
Do you have a contempt action filed against her?
I will be happy to, Your Honor.
What authority would I have to hold her in custody if it's not been a contempt action
I'm not
filed?
asking that, Your Honor. I'm just asking if she'll get the same treatment.
Well, if
for her.
she's in contempt, but now, there again, it's going to depend on a lot of different things that we've already heard, whether you're going to have to prove that she actually got notice of the liens. She testifies she didn't. I don't know how you're going to prove that she actually had noticed that there were liens filed. Not that the taxes were due, I get that,
Well,
but that the liens were filed.
Waddlebaum is correct, and she didn't hear until April. That was almost 6 months ago that they got notice, Your Honor.
Right, and they've been paid.
Well, I don't
So-
know when.
So you don't get the same treatment if the actions are different. So you want to talk to her before I hear the rest of the evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I would recommend it.
Sure.
Are you?
Go back in the back.
Gina, Are you doing Herbert Mac for Alex, or is Alex still supposed to be coming today?
I have
He
not
said he was
gotten,
gonna come after he got through in Toombs,
gotten a text from Alex.
but he should have come here first.
I know bond hearings. I am, if everybody is.
Yeah, criminal trespass, family violence. And disorderly conduct is the last one. I think.
All right, what are we? Where are we?
So I have.
Y'all gonna be a while or what?
No, I mean, we have this, this plea ready to go with the accusation and.
Well, if it's ready, let's do it.
I left this in because I like this judge.
5100. Hey, Your Honor, may I approach? We're continuing these, so I'm giving
You may.
the dates and the sign.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, so we can discuss it.
The only thing I didn't have.
I don't know.
was get him to sign. But the way,
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine, I almost. Did your blinker on or your brake lights?
No, I didn't.
that's it. When you get him to do the plea, make him sign that.
Mikey. I'll ask him. I'll play it. They said he can go to the podium there and let me, I'm getting the rest of his paperwork.
It's like 24. But a normal.
Got one in the car.
I think it's 24. Yes, you can.
I don't have a plug for it. I just gotta.
There you go, Fozzie. Fozzie.
I guess the one in my car would work. If it plugs in.
You got almost the same message. As
He's got every kind of charger there is.
as Jerkface, that's his name, JF. JF is his name. I really thought I cut the slow parts out. This was a long docket.
I'll have a call.
Where are you, Judge? Come back, Judge.
What you're doing. So I'm going to be asking you a number
Fair
of
enough.
questions. Now, if I ask you a question, look at me. If I ask you a question and you answer the question, I'm going to assume that you understood the question. So if you do not understand my question, please stop me and tell me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give in the case now in hearing me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you put your hand
I
down.
was
Now tell me, how
pooping.
old are you?
27.
And how far did you get in school?
I got my GED.
Are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes, sir.
There's a sworn statement here that has a number of rights listed on it, and then a number of answers on the left-hand side indicating that you understood those rights. Were you able to read and understand those rights, or have someone explain them to you so that you could understand them?
Yes, sir.
And that you provide the answers out there indicating that you understood those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are the answers you provided true and correct?
Yes,
And
sir.
are the, okay, and is that your signature on that form, swearing before the deputy clerk that those answers are true and correct?
Yes, sir.
Was there anything on there you did not understand?
No, sir.
Have you ever been diagnosed or treated for any mental illness?
Yes, sir.
What was that, please, sir?
What I've been diagnosed with?
Yes, sir.
ADHD, bipolar depression, and schizophrenia.
All right. Are you taking medication for that?
No, sir.
Should you be on medication for that in order to know and understand what's going on here today?
Oh, no, sir.
Can you share some
You able to
medication for
understand what's
that?
going on here today without being on your medication?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Carr, you've been working with Mr. Hall. Are you satisfied that he's mentally competent to enter into this plea?
I am, Your Honor.
All right. I'll make that a finding. Are you not?
Legal, are you still here? Is Dawson County, Georgia, is that small? It's not Toombs, although he's the judge for Toombs. I think it's, if I had a guess, yes. This is Dawson and this is small.
Now under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, narcotics, or other medication that would have a negative effect on your ability to know and understand what's going on here today. There will be a negative effect.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, I understand there's been certain negotiations between you and your lawyer in the district attorney's office, and you expect the district attorney to make a recommendation in your case. Do you understand I do not have to accept that recommendation, but if I do not accept it, I'll give you a chance to withdraw your plea?
Yes, sir.
Other than them agreeing to make a recommendation in your case, has anybody promised you anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Has anybody threatened you in any way or used any force or any violence against you to get you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Now, I understand this is a type C recidivist sentence, so that you understand that you will not be eligible for parole. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You are advised that if you are not a citizen of the United States, a plea of guilty will have an impact on your immigration status. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It's only
Do you
polite.
understand that you have the right to plead not guilty and demand a jury trial, in which case the state would be required to prove your guilt of each element of the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, sir.
If you plead not guilty, the Constitution guarantees you at trial, among other possible rights, the following: the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the presumption of innocence, the right to confront and question the witnesses against you, the right to subpoena witnesses and evidence in your favor, and a right to present those witnesses and that evidence during the trial. You'd have the right to the assistance of a lawyer during the trial. You'd have a right to testify if you wanted to, but you would also have the right against self-incrimination. That is, no one could make you testify. And if you chose to not testify, that fact could not be held against you or used against you in any way. You would testify or not, and you personally will make that decision. Now, do you understand that by pleading not guilty or remaining silent and not entering a plea at all, you would obtain a jury trial with all of those rights?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that if you plead guilty, as you're doing right now, you give up all of those rights?
Yes, sir.
Tell me the facts and circumstances surrounding the charges, please, ma'am, with the recommendation.
Yes, sir. On June 4th of 2024, officers with the Washington County Sheriff's Office responded to a home off of Deep Cut Road in Washington County in response to a domestic dispute. The victim, Miss Christina Manguez, stated that Mr. Hall was threatening to hit her and became upset after a verbal altercation
that
between
too.
the two, accusing her of cheating. Miss Mangus attempted to leave the area. Mr. Hall took her phone and broke it. He was throwing things around the home and busting windows. Miss Mangus attempted to get into her vehicle and leave the residence, at which time he used his shoulder to hit into the side of the vehicle and cause damage to her window and her car door. He also got into his Chevy Colorado after she drove off and attempted to follow her on the road. He did attempt to ram her with his own vehicle in an attempt to stop her. He did eventually flee, and officers weren't able to capture him for a while. However, they did later find him on the county line with Jefferson County, and officers took him back to the Washington County Jail, at which time Mr. Hall was still freaking out. They put him in the self-protection suit, or the turtle suit as they call it, and he was fighting, attempting to get out of that suit, at which time he ripped it, which is where the interference with government property charge came in. The state's recommendation in this case.
Okay, I understand anybody else in the chat saying this. I understand every single other person in the chat typing this message. But legal, you live in Georgia. Don't you say vehicle? I'm gonna get in my vehicle and go down to the Piggly Wiggly. Get me some beer and smokes. I mean, legal. Can you go in Discord and talk to us in vibes chat? Because I want to hear your Georgia voice say vehicle. And July. July is my favorite thing this judge says. No, you don't, Rebecca. No, no, you don't. You don't say car. We say car. I don't know how to say car in Aussie. Car. Vehicle. Vehicle. I'm not insulting no Piggly Wiggly. I'm going down to the Piggly Wiggy. Wiggly. Me. I'm going down in my vehicle. My vehicle. Car. See, you say car. You, you lying. You lying in chat. July is Beverly's birthday. Gonna make her a special biscuit. I don't call it a car. I don't call it a truck. I call it a hug machine for my ex.
Cases for count one, the criminal attempt to commit aggravated assault would be 10 years with 2 to serve. And upon the completion of those 2 years, GDC transferred to RSAT and ITF. Gina, can you explain how you have that written again?
Yes, okay, and this was pursuant to consultation with probation. So it would be 10 years, served 2, and upon completion of the 2 years, and if you see at the bottom, I put type C, so it'd be served 2 as a type C. Upon completion of the 2 years, the GDC is to transfer him to RSAT/ITF. Now, I know we didn't say RSAT, but they refer to the program that way.
I know that.
Okay.
Okay, I couldn't read your handwriting fully.
I can read it.
Counts 2 through 4, the terroristic threats, the government interference with property, and the criminal damage to property are all going to be 5 years, served 2 concurrent to count 1 and each other. Count 5, criminal trespass, family violence, and count 6, disorderly conduct, are both going to be 12 months to serve concurrent to all other counts.
And credit for time served is allowed
Sure.
by law.
All right.
Recommend to a TC.
With the special conditions of probation being to report to a probation office, a Fourth Amendment waiver, provide a bodily specimen for testing, limited or no contact with the victim, family violence intervention program, provide a records release, undergo evaluation and treatment for mental health, provide a DNA sample, avoid use or being in the presence of alcohol or drugs, and enter and complete ITF.
I think it says no contact with the victim, doesn't it?
I believe it's
Limited
supposed
is
to be
stricken
no-
out.
Yeah, it says no contact. Limited is struck out.
Named
Yes.
victim or family, because
Yes,
there's
sir.
like 3 kids.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Hall, you heard that recommendation. Is that the recommendation you expected her to make and the one to which you have agreed?
Auto.
All right, that recommendation will involve some time on probation after the sentence. And you will give up your Fourth Amendment right against search and seizure while you're under this sentence, and you have to agree that as a special condition of probation, you shall submit to a search of your person or property at
Kids
any
get
time of
in
the day or
that car.
night,
I swear
with
to
or without
God.
your consent, and with or without a search warrant, whenever you are requested to do so by your probation officer or any law enforcement officer. If anything is found in that search, it may then be taken and used against you in any further court proceedings. Now, do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And do you agree to that?
Yes, sir.
Although you are not admitting guilt, have you decided that it is in your best interest to plead guilty because at the trial, the evidence
Corn.
presented may be sufficiently
corn.
strong for you to be convicted? In other words, you're not admitting guilt, but you decided to plead guilty because the evidence may be strong enough for you to be convicted.
Yes, sir.
Based upon that, do you now freely and voluntarily enter your plea of guilty to the charges against you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you're here today with your attorney, Ms. Carr. Are you satisfied with the services that she has rendered to you in this case?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, sir.
Ms. Carr, you heard the recommendation. Is that the one to which you and your client have agreed?
It is, Your Honor.
You satisfied that he understands all of his rights?
I am.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Just to understand that the Jefferson County case 21 CR 135, that this is a basically global wrap-up plea.
That's the probation revocation matter?
It is, Your
Okay.
Honor, and that sentence actually ends on 12/30/2026 for that probation case. And so our agreement is revoke 2 years in that case.
Right. All right, that'll be part of the deal. All right, Mr. Hall, the court finds that you understand the nature of the charges against you and the consequence of your guilty plea, that there is a factual basis for the guilty plea, and that you decided knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily to plead guilty. The court will therefore accept your guilty plea, and I will accept the recommendation if to count one, it'd be a 10-year sentence, 2 to be served in the penitentiary, followed by a balance on probation. As a part of that probation, Department of Corrections will transfer you to RSAT ITF. If they send you to a transitional center before they send you to the ITF, that's fine with me if they'll do that. Counts 2 through 4 will be 5-year sentences, served 2, followed by the balance on probation, subject again to RSAT ITF, to run concurrent with count 1. Counts 5 and 6 will be 12 months each to be served concurrent with count 1. That will be the judgment and the sentence of the court unless you'd like to withdraw your plea. Would you like to withdraw your plea?
No, sir.
You've been sentenced to a period of confinement. It's a violation of the law to escape. If you were to escape, you could then be prosecuted for the new offense of escape and can receive an additional 1 to 10 years in the penitentiary. If a dangerous weapon were to be used by you or others in that escape, you could receive an additional 1 to 20 years in the penitentiary. With regard to these felony convictions, you'd have a period of 4 years within.
How the hell do you think every food is nasty? It is piece of corn. How is corn nasty? How is everything nasty? I just feel like sending your wife a fruit basket or something. Because how does she make dinner? What does she do? Just throw some chicken nuggets in the microwave for you every night? Grits are nasty. It is a piece of corn. You should love corn. Don't you love corn? It makes your bathroom activities more fun, doesn't it?
In which to petition the appropriate court for habeas corpus relief. With regard to the misdemeanors, you'd have count 5, you'd have a year, and count 6, you'd have 6 months, I believe, within which to petition the appropriate court for habeas corpus relief. If you'd like to know more about habeas corpus relief, I'm sure your attorney will be glad to explain that to you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay,
John, come back to court.
okay, hold on. Wait, just one
Bad,
minute.
big booty. Bad, bad, bad.
Was I supposed to put restitution on this?
I don't think restitution was requested, just put, we'll set it, or we can set it.
Okay, I just want you to know, every once in a while,
There could be
legal
potential
fiction
restitution, and we'll set that
pulls
for a
out
hearing
with a great
in 30 days.
comment. It just hits. Hold on. I have another one from him. Please say I still have it. Just be nice to me. That's not the right button. I got an idea. Oh, I hope I still have it. It was perfect. There it is. I do still have it. This is what he said the other day. You ready? You ready? Ah, yes. Yes. Doesn't he have the best comments ever? Don't they just hit? Yep, 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 yep. Yep. Oh, now I forgot what I was doing.
All right.
Yes, and I mean, you're gonna go to court, but the other one will probably be better. It's the restitution hearing, but we'll take care of Jefferson County just as soon as possible.
So if I'm in prison and y'all going from prison to
Make
court?
America
Right, or we'll have
eat
you
great
appeal all
again.
All right.
So that
All right.
I'm hiding
You
my
come on up. She'll get out of
DoorDash.
the way.
There's my DoorDash. I'm putting a
Please
cat on my
vacate the
DoorDash.
premises.
Yes, I'm working. Is this y'all stuff? That ain't my stuff.
Yeah, he'll deal with all that.
Okay, I was like, that ain't mine.
All right, where do we stand? Let's have quiet, please.
Your Honor, I think where it stands is that we would ask for Your Honor to make a rule with respect
All right, hold on a
to-
minute. Y'all please be quiet.
We would like for Your Honor to at least make a ruling with respect to the Brookins property with particular emphasis to the fact that there's been a stipulation to the tax issue and the late payment of those. But with respect to the other issues, all pending contempt issues and all contempt issues which either party may bring against the other, we would agree to go to mediation by November 1 with Miss Kathy Palmer prior to either party litigating or bringing before the court any of their contempt issues to see if we can resolve
Okay.
everything for these parties.
Your Honor, on the issue the court is still gonna rule on Brookings, I would still request, as we asked the court earlier, for permission to brief those issues as to the standing of a party in an equitable petition if they are not.
I'll
in
tell you what I
compliance
got.
with the law
2 beef empanadas,
with
2
the
rice,
order
2
themselves.
beans.
Your Honor, and it's our position that it's a contractual provision that says that it reverted to her in fee simple on non-performance, and that's our position, and we just want the court to, confirm that in a ruling so that we can move forward.
I don't see an issue. I think that's what the plain language of the agreement is. The plain language of the agreement
Here we
says if
go,
he's
here we
late
go.
paying the taxes, the property automatically reverts to her and he'll sign a quick claim deed over to her and I'll so rule.
That's it. The ruling's over.
I think it just clear as a bell.
Objection to
We
the
went through all of that.
Sir, certainly, yes.
Hold on,
Your
hold
Honor,
on, hold
like-
on.
Clear as a bell. It
Hold
says
on.
if he's late paying the taxes, the property automatically reverts to her and he'll sign a quick claim deed over to her and I'll so rule.
That's it.
I think it just clear as a bell.
objection to the ruling, Your Honor.
Sir,
Said
certainly, yes.
Would Your Honor like for me to prepare an
I
order
would.
and circulate it to Mr. Lewis, and I'll reflect the court's ruling as well as the issues in abeyance, the contempt issues, and then mediating. And I guess this is something we should have asked, both being from Dublin. Does Your Honor know if Ms. Palmer will mediate? I know she was willing to arbitrate.
It went so fast, I thought we would do it again. It went so fast. His rolling was so quick, I just thought we had to see it twice. I mean, that's the judge's fault, guys, for letting it go on that long. God, I love that judge. That judge is so good. We usually love this judge because of his rulings, like everything he says and his phrases and everything. But oh my God. Guess what, guys? Guess what? You're never going to believe this. Fozzie doesn't like shrimp. Unless they're for red lobster. Fozzie, I want to speak to your mama. I want to speak to your mama. Okay. I'm older than Fozzie, I know, but we are sort of the same age, all right? I'm not a different generation older than Fozzie, okay? But the way I grew up, in my household, when it was dinner time, the children and the parents went to the dinner table and ate the food. Nobody asked us if we wanted it, if we were hungry, if we liked it, what our opinion was in any way, shape, or form. The food came to us and we not allowed to get up until that food was gone, whether we liked it or not. So all these people, okay, I will tell you, I don't like red beets. I do not like red beets. I will never go out to the grocery store and buy red beets for dinner if I make it. But if I were to go to someone's house that was cooking and they gave me red beets, I would eat the red beets and tell them how delicious those freaking red beets were, the greatest things I've ever had in my entire life. I don't get these people who are like, "No, I don't like cheese. I don't like shrimp, except this one shrimp." I bet you I could eat a jar of Vegemite and not blink. And not be like, "Oh, I don't like the taste of this." Now, if my if I couldn't even imagine saying to my mother, "Oh no, I'm not hungry. Oh no, I don't like that." I could not imagine my mother saying to me, "Hey, Kathy, what do you want for dinner? Like, what? She doesn't even know some of the foods. Like, she wouldn't know an empanada if I don't know, gave her the menu. Empanada. I love them. Like, the food I eat now that I'm older and away from her is absolutely nothing like the food we had when we were growing up. Um, but she never asked me what I wanted. Well, no, I had to eat it all. I had to sit there until it was gone. My older sister sat there for 7 hours with a hot dog in her mouth one day. My mom's like, "You're not getting up till you swallow it." And my sister's like, "Mm-mm, mm-mm." And she didn't. She didn't get up. It was like 1 in the morning when she got up, finally. Went to bed. Scallops don't taste nasty, and especially if they smell. If they smell, there's something wrong with it. Don't eat that scallop. Oh, no. Nope. We had to eat what was on our plate. That was it. Yeah, see? See? You just ate it. You don't like lemon beans? Just swallow it. Just swallow it. That's all you gotta do. Of course you just said yes. It's delicious, Mom. This is delicious. Oh, I love lima beans too. I love them. I could if that's what was put in front of me, I absolutely could because that's just how you do it with food. Slightly slightly seared on both sides. And now kids these days, they don't like nothing. They don't like anything. I give them the Salisbury steak that's frozen in a box that tastes like nasty cardboard with this gravy on top. Blah, and they are so pleased. I make Salisbury steak from scratch with real meats that tastes delicious, and it's like I shot their dog or I took their cat to the Chinese buffet. Anyway. Well, Fozzie, you're the one that keeps poo-pooing on food. Most people in here love food, and you're saying it's nasty. You're not just saying, "Oh no, I do not enjoy the taste of that." No, you're saying it's nasty. Corn is nasty. Pineapple is nasty, and shrimp is nasty. They ain't nasty. I'll eat them all together. Put all of them on a plate and mix them up, and I'll eat them. No, they would not eat my homemade Salisbury steak, which was so freaking good. My lord. So, I don't it's one more thing I'm not allowed to do in my house anymore. Yeah. Well, guys, we got to see two sides of the coin. Oh, look. Watermelon. You're talking about watermelon. I got watermelon right here. Mm, I love watermelon. It's right beside me. I was gonna munch on it, but I thought it'd be rude, even though I ate my dinner at the beginning. I mean, yeah, there's fruits I don't like, but I'll eat it. I will eat it. No, no, no. Don't make me swear. I'm gonna get demonetized. No. The answer is no. Unless those foods will kill you. Unless those mushrooms and onions will kill you because you're allergic, then you eat the whole thing. Mushrooms are delicious. Yep. I heard that over and 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 over again. There are starving children in this world. Eat your food. That's propaganda. See? Do you see what BI did, Fozzie? He didn't insult everybody in the whole chat by saying pineapples are gross. She she didn't. And so I, hey, Linus, we were just talking about you. We were not. We were not. We were not. We were talking about food, of course. Linus, how's your coworker doing today? Yeah, dates gross me out too. That's why I stopped dating, man. They're gross. What I would like to have, I would like to cook for Fozzie for 1 week, breakfast, lunch, dinner. He just has to eat what I give him. It's delicious. It's really, really, really good. I guess, okay, there's some things I won't eat. That's okay. You know how they, cook ants in some places, ants and unconventional things. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna eat an ant. I'm not. I don't care if it's delicious. I don't want to eat an ant, and I would never eat, you know, like a pet or something. I would not. Nope. No. No. I don't care how delicious they are. Don't. Because the thought of that makes me sick. Ham and cheese is one of my favorite go-to anythings. Ham and cheese, anything. Uh, okay, okay, you guys. So, Vicky, in South Africa, can you walk into a restaurant and get ants? Can you? I think you can, but that's just because in America we only get a tiny little slice of what life is like in South Africa. We get lied to. We know this. We know this, but Fozzie's a hater. Wish I had my sign. Thank you, Fozzie. Thank you. Oh yeah, all the time. See, I just thought that that's what it was. You know what you need to do, Vicky? It'd be awesome for your stream. Awesome. Because we are ignorant Americans. You should just film like clips of like an hour of your normal day in in South Africa. This is the restaurant we go to. This is what I ate. I'm gonna go grocery shopping. This all. Show us going grocery shopping. Show us your grocery store. We would love, love, love that. And then make it like a South African dish for dinner, or no, because you're going to a restaurant. Or you can do both, right? Yeah, you remember? Remember? I thought he was in the service. Don't people have been in the service just like get used to eating like powdered milk? Were you in the service really, Fozzie? Didn't you have to eat powdered milk off of a little wooden spoon 7 days straight in the rain? That's how I imagine people in the service. They don't get a bed. They get this little tiny cot with a mattress this big, and the springs are probably poking you all night. And then there's a guy on the top, probably fighting. I would never eat an elephant ever. I would never you couldn't pay me. You would have to I would die of starvation before I'd ever eat an elephant. No. No. Okay, so he was in a bunker like this on a boat, eating like beans. Nope. You are absolutely unique and absolutely loved because you can give us all this information that we did not know about. You should see how we treat the Australians in here. We constantly have questions. Constantly. Right, Rebecca? We have bagged milk in Lancaster. Oh, Vicky, if you could get some of your friends and have a little group. What? What? What do you mean you've never been on a boat? You were in the Navy. Don't you have to be on a boat? Don't you have to, like, every 9 months or something, go out for 2 months and then come back? I've been lied to my whole life about the whole world. Really? Sydney, Australia is just like where you are in South Africa, but expensive. Thank you, legal. You're right. I constantly get those mixed up because I guess I just need to prioritize it so I don't hurt someone's feelings. I don't think I would mind that. I wouldn't go and try to get it, but that's something that I would if it was in front of me, I would eat it. I wanna go to South Africa, not I mean, I wanna go to Australia too, but man, that would be so cool to go to Africa. Wait, what? What do you mean you never get on a boat? Like, what about basic training? In basic training, you don't go out for 2 months? A ship, 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 ship. Stripes are dancing. I will not wear stripes anymore. I remembered too late, in the stream when I saw a little weirdness in my shirt. I remember when my son was he was being filmed for a TV series because of his video game playing. He's a really good gamer. Um, they said he's not allowed to wear. He went away. He went to California or something for a week for this TV show. Um, and they said I was not allowed to send him with striped shirts because they don't film well. It just annoys people, which is weird because I see striped shirts on TV all the time. But whatever. Was not a send him with striped shirts or anything with like logos. If it had, just do it or filthy animal or anything, they would have to take like black duct tape and cover it. So I had to send them in plain shirts. Why? Why? It is though, isn't it? Oh gosh, I need to know so much. I didn't even know I wasn't supposed to. So, all right, I'm trying to figure out what it's like. So, North America is Canada and the United States. South America is Mexico. And it would be weird for someone in Mexico to say they're from America, even though they freaking are, because it's all so South America only. Because that would be like someone from Mexico saying they're from America, even though they are. Got it. Got it. Now I get it. Okay, but I still want to go to Africa. South, north, east, west. I don't care. I don't want to go and I don't want to see the elephants. I want to leave them alone. I just want to leave them alone. I don't want to see the lions. I don't want to see the tigers. They don't need us to go look at them. They don't need us to mess with them. And I mean, yes, it would be cool. Yes, it'd be awesome, but I think they need to be just left alone. I just want to go and see the cities and the people. Yeah, yeah. See, that's okay. Listen, if you're ever in a kayak and it's wiggly, it first is because you have all your beer on one side. Drink half of your beer. Take those cans and place them outside the kayak. Tie them to that side of the kayak that's wiggling, and then you'll be steady. I'm a pure boater. Don't do that. I don't know how to pronounce that. Do you pronounce the D or the J or both? Djibouti. Djibouti. Doing Djibouti. I don't think so. I don't think so. I want to see it. Aren't they wiggly? I don't have a kayak. You believe it or not, I don't go kayaking on weekends. Don't they get wiggly and you fall over? I see them on YouTube clips all the time, people falling over, tipping their thing over. I do go tubing a lot though. I have my tube that looks like it's my tube is like a black, it's just a black ring. It's the tube for a real tire. And then I have my beer cooler tube, which is smaller and it has a tire print on it to make it look like a fake tire. And I fastened a piece of wood in it so that I could just put my beer on there and it's more stable for my beer. My beer doesn't get like shaken up or anything. And there's wish you were here. Djibouti.
That's where I've been.
You wish. He's been to Djibouti, guys. Djibouti. Well, it's been a while since I heard someone say that to me. Of course, he has to. When look, I couldn't have pronounced that word in a million years, right? Not in a million years. That's why, the mods like they steer the ship. And when I go left or right, they're like they knock me right back on. But then, like tomorrow, he's gonna type that word again, and I'm gonna be like, "Did you?" I think it went well. Yeah, now I know a new word for 30 minutes before I forget. I dislike ringtones that don't ring. I need my ringtone to go ring ring. I'm not answering a phone if it doesn't ring. I don't like the it just annoys me. I just want my phone to ring if, if someone's calling me. Now I want to know all of your ringtones. All right. Who has songs as the ringtones and what song is it? 30 minutes would be nice long time to never mind. I don't know if we have links turned off, really. No idea. Try it. Or there's Discord. There's always Discord. Oh, Genesis. Legal has Genesis. Monica's crazy. Victoria, don't worry about them. They're just cats. They're fine. They're just saying I love you to each other. My daughter still has not picked up her kittens with the cat, the mean cat who hates every other cat in the world. So I have 13 animals here right now. And my daughter is moving back in by the end of the month, which means the cats are never going back. They're all going to stay here. But her 8 animals are going downstairs to the basement. I don't know. It's not like, yep, yes, you can. Hell, yes, you can. I'm going to get this one. I'm going to get it. It's not going to get away from me. Oh, oh, oh. Got it. I got it. I got you. Let go. I got you, baby. 7. 7 of these. Look at your pretty kitty. Look at the camera, kitty. Stop. You're going to fall. Just look at the camera. Look up. Look up. Hold on. I got to look up. Hi. Hi, baby. Oh, you look so happy with me holding you. and they get into everywhere. I actually gave up and just put a roll of toilet paper in the living room because they just want to scratch it. Fine, scratch away. Knock yourself out. It only takes a broom 10 seconds to just sweep, sweep, sweep it up. I do hope she finds houses for these kittens soon, though. I mean, they're only like what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, so they're not. We can't give them away yet. They're too little. But I hope she does find houses because I don't want all these cats. Hi, babes. Yes. The mother of these 7 kittens hates everybody in the house. Everybody. But what she doesn't understand is, look, if you want to boss around all my other cats, that's fine. It's survival of the fittest, and they need to up their game. But don't touch my dog. If you touch my dog, I'm really the leader of this house. And my dog stays with me. A reality show? No, house is too messy. I wish. I wish. Maybe my house won't be messy though, because with my daughter and her boyfriend moving in, maybe they will chip in and help. Do you think they'll chip in and help, guys? I mean, since I'm paying all the bills, they said they were going to give me rent. Do you think they're going to give me rent, guys? I don't really care if they give me rent. I don't really care. They're just moving in to save up money to get their own place. Maybe they'll get married. Oh, a food blog. Oh, 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 oh. I'm looking. I'm looking. Because we love, well, all of us except for Fozzie loves food. I'm sure it was after the phone call, right? After Fozzie's phone, or maybe it could have been while he was making me that phone call. All right, I'm going up to. All right, stop calling it Africa. I'm going to start there and then look for this link about a food blog. I missed a lot of chats. It's hard to talk and read chat at the same time, so I do miss chats while I'm talking. Djibouti. Not this time, Maiko. Wine region. I don't see a link. All right. Have you got links turned off? So it has to be right after this. I'm here. Here's a food blog. I don't see it. Hold on, I'm looking. Scroll up. It's how to keep an Irish how to keep an Irish woman occupied. There's no link, is there? I'm just gonna keep scrolling up and scrolling down. This is something I would do though. So I appreciate it. Hold on. I'm gonna find it. Okay. Got that one. Here's here's a food blog. Scroll up. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know how to turn them on. I just don't. I just don't. Watch, I'll go back later after it's done and live chat replay comes on and I'll look again. Hold on, Vicky. Hold on. Hold on, Vicky. That's a really good idea. Hold on, I gotta go here. The text has to get the whole way to the bottom because I just opened the other screen. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Don't pull on that. Don't pull on that. Don't. Get off of it. Oh, he ran away. Here we go. Okay. Now you'll be able to add a link for a few minutes. Oh, what? Wait. What does this button do? Oh, it deletes comments. I didn't know I could do that. Wait, what did you say, Fozzie? Fozzie's gonna quit.
But you wouldn't want them to be brats, like public school brats. Wait, I actually need to remember how to get us out of here.
Stream this out of here.
Yeah, but I need to.
Do I have to shout out? Do I have to give a shout out to anybody? Am I like stealing someone's content? And why is it no sound
You're
on?
not doing. You're buying for like 4 people.
Yeah.
You mean they don't just get it like right out the sea, clean it
No,
off,
no.
and that's it?
In 800 meters, at the roundabout, turn left onto Main Road, M6.
Did you hear him? In 800 meters, turn left at the roundabout.
I mean, out here there's also a world of birds, which is nice. It's not just birds. They have an alpaca, and I can't remember what other animals.
Please say llama. Please say llama. Please say llama.
And it's like pretty.
In 300 meters, at the roundabout.
It's not super expensive to live here either. It's like one of the more like affordable beach towns.
It's nice.
Affordable beach town. I would
I
love
must
that.
admit, shopping here is way more expensive relative to going out. Like that lunch I was telling you about the hostel is like 65 rand a day. It's way cheaper to do that than go to shops and buy all the pieces to make whatever that food was that day. You know?
So I think it's also there's something happening in the park there. Okay, don't get distracted, Vix. I think it's also because you are there. It's probably subsidized first of all because it's government hospital and university rates, and they have
A
like
shorter
catering or
one.
whatever.
In 1.3 kilometers, at the roundabout, go straight on.
But also you're not doing. You're
Vicky,
buying for
This is
like
fascinating. We love
4
this.
people
I love
in
this.
one go versus one. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah. I guess, yeah.
if you buy the stuff, you buy it probably like 5 days, so it would be 60 times 5.
Yeah. True.
Go straight on.
This thing's gonna lose focus now because I didn't.
What was that
Oh,
one in
we're
Cape
gonna
Town we went
see
to like 6
food.
years ago? It's a
Say
massive
less.
mall. They're inside.
Say
It's like
less.
got glass roofs and
That's probably Canal Walk.
massive.
I feel like I saw this. When was this? When did you put this out?
Good morning. I
Hello.
am going to make a list of things I need to get done still, but I mentioned in yesterday's video that I would do a grocery haul. So before we get there, let's go back to yesterday.
Oh my
Okay,
God,
so
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna do
see a
this quick
grocery
fast because
haul.
everything is fridge or freezer. These mint ice cream things are the absolute best. I don't even eat ice creams and I'm hooked on these. We got this AI Coke to try. Apparently it's not very nice, but I really have to know.
Then 2 tins of fruit salad. I actually am allergic to a lot of fruits, so this is the best way that I can eat them because they're preserved. These my stomach also hates, but I could not leave them behind. Toasted coconut marshmallows just to balance out like all the healthy, you know. Cappuccino. These are so yummy, but I didn't know you're actually supposed to like put them in the oven. That's what they intended. So I was just eating them like that. But then to go on that, I got this. And then those are Vaughn's mushrooms. I don't eat mushrooms. The best basil pesto I've tasted ever. Chicken bites, nibble things that you can put in the air fryer. Then these are microwave meals that we will likely have tonight. Again, my stomach does not love.
Somebody, guys, somebody's gonna have to go give Fozzie CPR or something because I bet you he hates all of this. He's having a bad time right now. Fozzie, are you okay?
This, but I do. This is salad stuff, so rainbow slaw, baby spinach, rocket and watercress, then more rocket, because I love rocket. Some snacking cucumbers. I got this fresh basil pesto dressing to try. Their basil pesto, mozzarella, tomato, pasta salad is one of our favorite things. But every time we've gotten their basil pesto, by there I mean Woolworths, the dressing, it never tastes the same. So I'm going to try this one because they say it was a new thing. Falafels, haven't tasted Woolworths ones. Someone told me some falafels are incredible, and I can't remember if it was Woolworths or a different brand. And then these are new, sticky soya and sesame chicken, and it's like little strips with rice underneath, coconut rice. And that is that. Okay, so basically what I need to do is I need to make a list of everything that has to happen before Christmas. I'm not going to focus on things after Christmas because today is Friday, so there's still Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday night we have a braai with my family, and Sunday night, so we'll be there and then we'll come back here. My mom's staying over, and I think it'll mostly be like food prep related. So I want to just spend today getting all the Christmas things that are left on the list done, from house things to making a grocery list to like putting all the games that I grabbed together. I might even get the table out of the garage and set it up. It's a folding table, so I want to make sure that I have the right, I got a flat sheet to put down so that I can put my tablecloth over it. But I have a feeling the flat sheet might be a bit small. So I'm thinking I'm going to just sit and knock out a list, and then I'm going to go through it. What I normally do, because if you have ADHD or if you found yourself here because of suspecting you have ADHD,
Food part
lists.
was amazing. That's so cool. That is really cool. So I do watch in my spare time. I do watch a lot of the videos like um, Ireland and the UK when they go grocery shopping, and it's just fun. It's just fun to watch the other parts of the world when they go grocery shopping, and it's like they have like 5 cereals to choose from. And then I look when I would go grocery shopping and I look and we're stupid here. We really are stupid here. We should have, 5 cereals to choose from. That would make life so much easier. Then you go to the grocery aisle and there's a whole aisle just cereal. It's just crazy. I mean, you know how many different kind of M&Ms we can get here? Any flavor. Just pick a flavor. Oh, there's an M&M for it. There's a Dorito for it. There's a Frito for it. There's a Cheeto for it. There's a cereal for it. There's a coffee for it. I don't. They were normal ones, like Cheerios and nothing like wheat. Not the real sugary sugar. Maybe Fruit Loops sugary sugar, but you know, just fruit. Frosted Flakes. That's it. They get. I don't know which 5, but none of them were like. They didn't have stars and rainbows and moons, and they didn't have a ton of sugar in them. I guess the Raisin Bran. They have raisins. Baked beans. I love baked beans. I don't know, Casey. It's just so confusing when you go to the grocery store and there's so many different flavors, and I just really tired. I want to get in there and get out, but I can't just grab milk, bread, eggs, cereal. I gotta go through the whole store, and then my cart is $400. It's not underrated. It's delicious. It's delicious. Oh, shut up, Fozzie. It's delicious. Vicky, thank you for giving us that. That was awesome. That was really, 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 really cool. Now I can say I've seen South Africa. I've driven there. You should, you should. You should have cereal. It's just a quick, easy, on the go. Grab some. You can have grapefruits, grape nuts. They're healthy. There's cereals that are healthy legal. There's a lot of them. All right. I'm gonna ban Fozzie in a second. How can you do know what beans on toast is? Everybody does. I loved it. I loved that driving. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. That's not a cereal, that's just sugar. Why don't you just eat sugar? Okay, I like Cocoa Puffs sometimes. How can milk give you heartburn? I try to drink milk when I have heartburn to get rid of my heartburn. If I walk by an orange, if I just walk by it, I don't even have to look at it. I don't even have to know it's there. If I walk by an orange, I get heartburn. But you know what I still drink? Fuzzy navels, screwdrivers, tequila sunrises. I don't care. Look, I got antacids right here. Give me heartburn. What? All right, maybe Fozzie didn't. It's just beans on toast. I mean, it's sort of self-explanatory. I've seen some of your videos. It's just so cool. So cool. Victoria, I love you. I do love you. I love you. I love you. Okay, well, it's easy and quick too. There's another thing, just like cereal. Just vodka and orange juice and get going. You don't have to mess around with bitters and mashers and shaken not stirred. You don't even have to stir it if you don't want to. Orange juice, screwdriver, drink. It's good. It's a good breakfast. It's baked beans. Baked beans, Campbell's baked beans on toast. You put a piece of bread in the toaster or oven. I don't have a toaster. You wait till it's brown and then you put beans on it. I do not agree with that because the toast is, the thick bread. Thick bread is so good. What was that? What was that book? Escape to Treasure Island. No, that's not even right. By Jules Verne. There was this book, can't remember what it's called now, where um, they got swept away in a balloon and they landed on this island and they didn't have any food, they didn't have nothing. They had to survive on this island. They met Captain Nemo at the end of the book. Anyway, these people had to live off this island, but there was no wheat. So, they're scavenging for food and they're building crops and building houses and all that, and they had no bread. And that was the worst part of the book. And I bet no one, it's not that one, but it's so close to that one. It's like the prequel, or it's not Treasure Island, but it's something like that. No, 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 no. Hold on. Now I have to know. Um, oh gosh, what book was that? I'm looking. Was it The Mysterious Island? I'm looking. I'm almost done. I think it was The Mysterious Island. I think. I get a lot of his books mixed up. I can't help it. Anyway, they got stranded. They didn't have nothing to make bread with, and that was like terrible. Could you imagine not having bread at all? Children of the Corn. I think so, Donald. I think so. It's the one where they climb into the, and they have a dog. They have a dog. I think they have a dog. I think they meet Captain Nemo. He's down in like a cavern. Captain Nemo like helps them a little bit every once in a while. Anyway, we went way sideways there. Not even anything close to court videos. Which means I'm going to get some nasty comments. I don't know. They didn't. I think one of them did it. I don't remember. I read it so long ago. I just remember they didn't have bread. But guys, I really, really, really appreciate you guys coming out today. I just can't believe I got this video together. This was from my phone while I was working. So I was so proud of myself when it looked normal. It looked like a normal video, except for that part where I door dashed. But look, I was working 12 hours and it was like my third day in 12-hour shift in a row. And I was very hungry. So I ordered DoorDash and I made you guys miss part of a video. But you still heard it. You saw some pretty pictures. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for chat, for keeping chat going. Thank you for pointing out things that I miss in the videos. We learned a lot today, I think. Everybody had something educational to give us today. Today was educational day. Oh, yeah, I got to work today. Oh, it's my day off, but I got to mod soon, and I didn't mod all last week. So I'm going to have to double mod today. I saw Linus timed out the judge. That was so funny. Linus, you can't time out the judge. You're going to go to jail. Like, that's like felony, I think. Is it a felony? It's a felony. It's assault and battery. Thanks for coming out, guys. I really, really appreciate it. See you soon.
Got these lights that goes digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late at night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Street of tales waiting to the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes near a sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each stream, she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom, eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor like a twisting song, in a way there's no alarm.